Access
Magandang
granted.
araw at andito naman ako para ipaliwanag sa inyo ang internet threat na phishing. Ang phishing ay isang uri ng internet threat kung saan gumagamit sila ng mga peking mensahe o website kung saan sinusubukan nilang makuha ang iyong personal na impormasyon. Parang mangingisda lamang, ang paing nito ay ang peking mensahe at ang isda naman na ay ang iyong personal na impormasyon. At ito naman na iba't ibang uri ng phishing. Una, email phishing. Ito ay peking email na nagpapanggap na galing sa lehitimong kumpanya o tao. Ginagamit ito para linlangin ang mga bagay at ang iyong personal na impormasyon tulad ng password o credit card number o para mag-click sa mga link na may virus. Halimbawa, isang email na nagpapanggap na galing sa iyong bangko na humihingi ng iyong account details. Pangalawa, spear phishing. Ito naman ay mas tumpak at personal na atake. Inaaral muna ang biktima o target ito para mas magmukhang kapanipaniwala ang email. Alam nila ang pangalan mo, posisyon sa trabaho, at iba pang detalye tungkol sa iyo. Halimbawa, isang email na nagpapanggap galing sa iyong boss na humihingi ng impormasyon tungkol sa isang proyekto. Pangatlo, whaling. Ito ay tulad ng spear phishing pero ang target ito ay mga bigating tao, tulad ng CEO o manager. Dahil mas mataas ang posisyon ng target, malaki rin ang makukuha nila kung matanggumpay ang pag-atake. Halimbawa, isang peking email na nagmumula sa isang abogado na humihingi ng sensitibong impormasyon tungkol sa kumpanya. Pang-apat naman ay smishing. Ito ay uri ng phishing sa pamamagitan ng text message o SMS. Sila ay nagpapadala ng text na nagpapanggap galing sa bangko, courier at iba pang serbisyo at humihingi ng personal na impormasyon o nag-uudyok na mag-click sa isang link. Halimbawa, isang text na nagsasabing nanalo ka ng premyo at kailangan mong ibigay ang iyong credit card details para makuha ito. Sunod naman ay phishing. Ang phishing naman ay sa pamamagitan ng telepono. Tatawag ang scammer at magpapanggap na empleyado ng bangko, ahensya ng gobyerno o iba pang organisasyon para makuha ang iyong impormasyon. Halimbawa, isang tawag mula sa isang taong nagpapanggap na taga-BIR at sinasabing may problema sa iyong buwis. At ang pinakahuli ay farming. Ito ay mas technical na atake. Hinahack nila ang DNS o domain name system para ilipat ka sa isang peking website na mukhang lehitimo, na kahit tama ang itype mong address, mapupunta ka sa peking site. Halimbawa, tinype mo ang website ng iyong bangko, pero mapupunta ka sa isang peking website na kumukuha ng iyong username at password. Para naman sa background ng phishing, ang unang naitalang pag-atake ng phishing ay nangyari noong 1990s. Nagpanggap ang mga manloloko bilang mga administrator ng AOL, isang internet service provider, para nakawin ang mga username at password ng mga user. Noon, ang layunin ay makakuha lamang ng libreng internet. Pero kalaunan, gumamit sila ng mas sopistikadong paraan tulad ng AOL para magnakaw ng mga password at impormasyon ng credit card. Sinasabi rin na ang terminong phishing ay nagsimula noong mga panahong ito. Ito ay hango sa isang tool na ginagamit sa pang-aatake, ang AOL, na inilabas noong Enero 1995. Ang AOL ay ginagamit para sa automatikong nakawin ang mga password at impormasyon ng credit card. At ito naman ang mga hakbang upang maiwasan ang phishing attack. Una, huwag ibigay ang iyong personal na impormasyon bilang tugon sa isang unsolicited request. Pangalawa, kung sa tingin mo ay maaaring lehitimo ang pag-contact, ikaw na mismo ang makapag-ugnayan sa institusyon. Pangatlo, huwag ibigay ang iyong password sa telepono o bilang tugon sa isang unsolicited request sa internet. At pang-apat, ugaliing suriin palagi ang mga statement ng account upang matiyak na tama lahat ng mga charges.
Good day everyone, today we're talking about something that affects all of us, fake news. In the age of social media, information spread faster than ever, but not everything we see or read online is true. You might have seen headlines like scientists found a cure for cancer or miracle cure for all disease, or even a certain celebrity had died even though they're still alive and perfectly healthy. Fake news refers to false or misleading information, which means it's not true or completely made up. It is very confusing because it looks exactly like a legitimate journalism or an actual news article. It is often created to manipulate, influence, and deceive people. It can also spread propaganda, harm someone else's reputation, gain attention, and last but definitely not the least, is to make money through likes, views, and shares. To stay safe, here are some ways to identify fake news. Check the source. Is it from a credible or well-known news organization? Some websites may look official, but you might want to watch out on those strange URLs or possible spelling errors. Read beyond the headline. Headline can be shocking and misleading to get clicks. Always read the full article before believing or sharing it online. Verify the author. Check if the writer is a real journalist or if only their name appears on that one site. Check the date. All news stories are sometimes reposted as if they're new, creating confusion. Look for supporting evidence. Are there quotes, data, or links to trustworthy sources? Cross-check with other sources. If major reliable outlets are not reporting it, it might not be true. Watch out for emotional language. If it tries to make you very angry, shocked, or scared, it might be trying to manipulate you. Use fact-checking sites. It will help you to identify if the news article's informations are fact and legitimate. Remember, in today's digital world, being informed also means being responsible. Let's all do our part to stop the spread of fake news. Fake news spread faster than the truth because lies are crafted to please while truth dares to challenge. Thank you and stay smart online.
Good day everyone, I'm Julia and now I'm going to share some information about cyberbullying. As we all know, cyberbullying is the act of repeatedly harming, harassing, threatening, and embarrassing someone using digital technologies such as social media, messaging apps, and gaming platforms. Since we know that there's a lot of types or ways of cyberbullying, like harassment, blaming, denigration, and impersonation, and etc. That's why I'm going to share some ways on how to respond to cyberbullying. First, stay calm. We must avoid reacting emotionally or replying out of anger, since responding can sometimes makes the bully continue, so we must ignore them when it's possible. Second, save evidence, like screenshots of messages, posts, emails, and comments, since we know naman po na evidence may be needed for school officials, parents, or authorities if there's a threat na po. Third, block or report the bully. We must report their offensive posts or comments and block them para maiwasan na po ulit yung mga ganong pangyayari and to protect ourselves na rin po and our peace of mind. I'm going to share some ways on how to prevent cyberbullying. First, think before you post. We must avoid sharing personal information, photos, or opinions that may be used against us. Don't forget to ask ourselves first if is this safe to post or to comment before po natin gawin. Second, be respectful. Always treat others kindly even when we disagree. Since there's a lot of respectful way naman po to share our personal opinions na hindi po nakaka-offend or nakaka-harm ng ibang tao. Para hindi na rin po pagmulan ng mga arguments na naglilid po sa personalan. Third, don't spread rumors or gossip. Since we know naman po na sharing harmful information makes you part of the problem. So, i-avoid po natin na i-forward or i-repost yung content na nakaka-harm po ng ibang tao. And last, educate yourself and others. Learn about cyberbullying and its effects. Since learning about cyberbullying and its effects helps to create a supportive and bully-free environment.